Sun shining. No more rain. Most of the puddles have soaked in. Well, I have been making a little progress. I got the sideboards fitted. I have been hearing weather reports that south of me, roughly 35 miles southeast of me, there's really heavy winds, golf ball size hail, and all that stuff. You know, I feel for them. But right now it's fairly clear. I still have to worry about flash flooding because the creek that runs on the backside of this property I'm on is fed by a larger creek south of here. So heavy rain and stuff will be flowing downhill, flowing past me, then way out to the river. But we have a levee out here that so far the water has not crested over, but the neighbor's property doesn't have the levee. And, well, on the other side of the levee there's a small patch of grass and whatnot, and damn flies. But yeah, there's a chance things could flood still, and yeah. Being out on the river right now would not be a good idea. Backwaters, maybe, but and right now I am still working on the boat. As you can see here, zoom out, I put a couple ratchet straps across the boat to suspend the 2x2s at roughly the right height, so I can get a measurement from the 2x2s to the floorboard. And then I'll be using the better end of this bunk that was on the trailer originally. You saw the trailer videos, I hope. I'll try to link that in description, but it's in the earlier part of this playlist of the boat build. I removed the bunks from the trailer and put on new bunks, and the new bunks are working. The carpet's coming off a little bit, but you know, I can redo that. That's not a big deal. But I plan on using this bunk because it's the better one. I know that end is really crappy looking, but 2x4 underneath the 2x2s to support them up and to go from here to here. That's what I'm thinking anyway, if there's enough good wood on here. But I have the 2x2 suspended on the ratchet straps because I don't have the extra set of hands. And yeah, it took a little bit to set them up and get them to the right height. But now I can just, you know, let them hang, and, you know, I need to move it a little bit by hand. I can do that when I mark it and get everything set up. But that is where I'm at currently. Just taking a little break. It's starting to get a lot warmer. You know, we had that rain, now it's all evaporating, and we have all this extra humidity. It is getting a little harder to breathe from the humidity. Humidity was at 50%. Humidity is now 63%. I have this little emergency weather radio. I can program the date, time, and everything, but I have the temperature and the humidity. And this radio also has a weather band. It can pick up AM stations. If you are in a high place with this radio, the Kaito Voyager Pro. That's kind of reversed, isn't it? Kaito Voyager Pro. The regular Voyager is all manual dials, and this has the digital dial. Yeah, it's more things to go wrong with it, but I can tune it in more precisely. It's a good radio. I used to use it when I was working at the warehouse and everything. But yeah, it's a great weather radio. It has an alarm clock feature. It has a solar panel on the back of it. And underneath the solar panel is a light, like a desktop reading light. And on the front of it, on the other end of the dials, is a 3 LED flashlight. It's not super bright, not super focused, but it'll get you around in a dark house, or a dark work building, as it was. It also has a hand crank generator, so you can wind it up and, listen to the radio that way. It has a solar panel, like I said. You can charge up in the sun, but you have to keep the radio part out of the sun. Otherwise, it can start to fade or melt the interior of it. The digital readouts don't like the sunlight, that kind of thing. But, good radio. Kind of wish the antenna was one of those that bent sideways, so you could pick up other stations, rotate, bent sideways. This one's just straight up. Anyway, enough about the radio. I'm going to be listening to the radio again while I get this 2x4 measured up and get the interior posts at the right height. And my plan is to have this part be the corner, have a 2x4 spanning between the inside, and a 2x4 underneath going down. And that will be the corner. It'll make it a little cleaner. I 2x4 because these things, and it'll give it more stability. Because these, I want to put a hinged padded seat on, and that way I have something to get from outside the boat to inside the boat, something to transfer on. Mostly I'll be using the deck, because the bow is what I put up on the land, but this way I'll have a step if I'm on a dock only or something like that. And inside I have, quite a bit of space between the hull and here, and I can put, rod holders. I can put all the extra stuff. I plan to put a couple the two 12-volt batteries, or at least one of them back here underneath, with a panel sitting on top with switches. The panel will go from here to the lip of the boat after I have it, in the right place. But, yeah. I'll have a angled little platform here with switches and everything for the lights, for the bilge pump, which is sitting over there right now. And hopefully I'll be able to wire up the lights as well. I have a navigation light I stripped off a bass boat. I'm going to put up on the bow, run the wires down and underneath here, back to the battery, and run wires along the back to the bilge pump, run wires up to the canopy. Once I get the canopy on, to at least the frame, and I'll have LED lights on the frame, similar to what I did in my house. The LED light kit comes with 2 strips of 4, and I might be able to wire up the other 4 as headlights. That's just a thought that crossed my mind. They are bright, and you know, they don't draw a whole lot of power, but it would be good for, you know, very basic headlights. So at least I can see where I'm going a little bit when I'm putting around. And I'll be able to fish at night then. And catfishing. So, hopefully, things work out. The oar holders, I was thinking about putting a couple of rod holders that will fit in here inside the hole and stay stable. That way I can just have, you know, a rod holder on both sides, and I can fish out the back. I'll have the casting deck up front with a good seat, so I'll be able to, you know, stuff. Cast around up front and fish up front. On the side, I'll be able to, you know, just set rods out for trolling or something. That's my little thought. I can get a couple of small downrigger type rod holders and put them in on the side, but keep them removable so I can also put in oars. I have a couple of oars, paddles, but those paddles were cheap and have come delaminated. The one on the bow of the boat right now, as you can see, it's only half there. But I have a oar holder right there, and I picked up a set of those for like $4 or $5 at a flea market. And the flea market had a few more sets, so that looks like something I might be able to use as you know, something to hold a tube for a rod holder. Something homemade, something cheap, you know. And I am sorry about the flies. They just keep bugging me. It's hot. It's hot. I am losing a lot of fluids, and I really should not be out here. But, yeah, it's warm. I'm going to finish working on this as much as I can. And this is going to be my day. Just talking to y'all and doing this. But I'll see you later. Alright everyone, we are back. I got the sides, or the inner corner of the bench done, and I have it attached to the floorboard. I had to flip the floorboard over and screw it down to the legs, but I was just thinking, that kind of looks like a sled. The floorboard looks like a sled that I might be able to use for ice fishing this winter. It's a thought, but no. Yeah, I have the boards, the corner boards, attached to legs, and I've attached the legs to the floorboard. So now this is all one unit. I can pull it out, and all I have to do is undo the screws that hold it to the side. There's going to be another 2x4 going between this corner and under here. But right now, you know, I gotta flip it. you know, kind of heavy, kind of awkward. So, that is the quick update, and I gotta find another 2x4 so I can finish putting in the benches. So, I'll catch you in a bit. Alright, and here is just a quick look of what it looks like when flipped the proper way. There's going to be support going from here to here, and support going from here to here. And that should be good enough. It's centered in the back, and I have this little notch cut in the front for the ribs there, because otherwise it didn't want to sit proper. But everything looks really good. I'm going to have to cut some of this part off so I can get the bench seat in that corner. But I have to get the bench seat in it first in order to measure. So, that's another thing. Darn, these quick updates really take a long time, huh?